Okay, to compare success rates for treating allergies at two clinics that specialize in treating allergy sufferers, researchers selected random data samples of patient records from the two clinics. Following table summarizes the data. So we've got Clinic A, Clinic B, unsuccessful, successful, totals across the way. Complete the following table recording the relative frequencies of successful and unsuccessful treatments at each clinic. Oh, relative frequency. Okay.
Mhm.
So relative frequency means like 51 out of 207
Okay.
and 33 out of 207, 88 out of 207, 35 out of 207. And you want to get those as decimals, which I can tell here. Based on the relative frequency table in part A, which clinic is more successful in treating allergies? So now that this is making me somewhat question. No, I guess this is okay. Basically, they're saying you can't do anything with the counts. You got to get it down to percentage, and you want us to look and see, well, which is better. No, this isn't right. Sorry, this is not right. Let me backtrack here. It's okay. I want to say this. It's 51 out of 84 are unsuccessful at Clinic A, but 33 out of 84 from Clinic B are unsuccessful.
Oh,
And then successful is 88 out of 123, 35 out of 123, because we're trying to decide which clinic we should go to.
right.
That's how you determine which value makes it in the row, whether it's the row total or the column total. I still need these values. Basically, we're comparing Clinic A to Clinic B. It sure looks like sorry, this is really, I don't know why I'm struggling so much to figure this out.
Oh, you're all good. Don't worry. It was getting me too.
Well, and I think I just did it wrong again, though. That's why I keep going back and forth here on this. We want to know, like, what we're trying to figure out is, like, if you go to Clinic A, what's the probability that you're going to be successful? 51 out of 139. No, 51 out of the 139 successful. Yeah. Okay. And B. Okay. Okay. So let me just try to rephrase this here. 51 out of 139 people that went to Clinic A were unsuccessful.
Right.
Does that make sense to you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
No,
And then, but 88 out of 139 were successful. So if you're just looking at Clinic A and you want to know whether you're going to be successful or unsuccessful, this is what you're trying to decide.
okay.
And then for Clinic B, we want to know, okay, there were 33 out of 68 that were unsuccessful, and 35 out of 68 that were unsuccessful. This is truly the correct answers. We really want the decimals, though, to be able to determine how to compare. Basically, we want to know success between comparing the two.
Yeah. 51, 5. Okay, I got them.
Okay.
So for unsuccessful A, I got 0.367.
Okay.
For successful Clinic A, I got 0.633.
Okay.
Then for B, I got 0.485 for the unsuccessful, and then for successful 0.515.
Okay, and what that tells you now, for the based on the relative frequencies, which clinic is more successful, we want to go to the one where we're going to have the higher probability of success, which is Clinic A.
Yes.
A compared to B is more successful.
Okay.
All right, so now the part B.
Part B.
Part B is the whole chi-squared thing that we've been doing. So it's actually unrelated to what.
Okay, I was kind of confused on which test to run this on.
Well, because this, I believe, is probably an AP free response thing. They're mixing. They always mix questions in like the free response is actually each part's kind of on its own. So you have to come up with the expected frequency table or go right to your calculator for that.
Okay, let's see here.
But this is the standard, like, well, do you think you can conclude with whether they're independent or dependent, related, not related, that thing.
I see. Huh. It'll be 2 and then 2. So it's a chi-square test for independence.
Yes.
Okay. Huh, interesting. Okay, so you got 35.
Now it seems because there's so much paper given for this, it's like you probably need to do your whole null hypothesis, H0, HA.
Right.
You need to state your alpha level. You need to state your test statistic, your degrees of freedom, maybe. You might need to draw the curve showing the area and the tail.
Right.
And then make a conclusion, draw a conclusion.
Okay.
So if you can here, get the
Expected counts. I got, whoops. The expected counts, I got 56.4 for the, top left. Then bottom left, 82.6. Top right, 27.6. And then bottom right, 40.4.
okay. So what about your chi-squared value?
Chi-square value, I got, let me see, pull it up. I got 2.654.
And do you have a p-value from that?
Yes, 0.103.
Yeah, so not enough area in the tail. So your p-value, which equals 0.103, is greater than your alpha level.
Right.
So you would fail to reject. And you would, there's not enough evidence to support a claim that of your alternative hypothesis, whichever one you chose for that.
Okay, perfect. Huh, so that's that. I don't know why. It was just mind-boggling to me trying to figure out what I had to do from that.
There's only a few things you can do with a table, and
Right.
you started off your course with like probability of A given successful, and then you finally get back to looking at these things.
Right. Let's take a second.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, gosh, sickness doesn't help either. I don't know if I'm fully cured yet.
Okay, so got yeah, I hope you feel better. Being sick's about the worst thing.
It is, and with allergy season too, man, it's just more gas on the fire.
I would agree.
Okay. Did you get the other?
Yeah, I got this.
Okay.
Let's see what we got here. We got
Speak of the devil. Allergy.
All right. Physician who worked at both clinics believed that it was important to separate the patients in the study. Okay, severity or mild. Okay, I see how they're doing this. The following mosaic plots, values in each mosaic plot. Okay, for example, 78 represent the number of clinic A. Okay. So they're saying out of the 88 that were successful, for example, it's divided among mild and severe. And the other ones here, the 26 and 51, that's breaking apart the unsuccessful at A. So they're just subdividing these things here. Okay.
Huh. Interesting.
Based on the mosaic plot, the physician concluded that the following: for mild allergy sufferers, clinic B was better. So he's saying, like, because there was 11 out of 12 in clinic B versus 78 out of 26.
Huh.
Or 78 out of the total, like 11 out of 12, 78 out of 104.
104.
Basically, it's comparing these two right here for this one.
Okay.
For severe, also he's saying basically clinic clinic B was also more successful. He's looking at this one here. Basically, he's looking at the rectangles and the areas or the proportions for that,
Okay,
or at least that's the claim.
right.
And then for each clinic, which allergy severity is treated more successfully? For each clinic.
For each clinic, which allergy severity is treated more successfully?
I'm not sure I understand what they're asking you to do. It's almost like you've got to do a test to confirm that or not confirm that.
Yeah,
So the only thing that I keep coming up with here is a 2-sample proportion.
sample. Or
Basically, you compare mild in A, mild in B, severe in A, severe in B.
oh,
So this is a 2-sample proportion test, and your proportion for let's wait, which clinic was more successful? Sorry, these are always so backwards.
and are these questions like that on the AP exam, or are they a
Yes,
little more
yes.
so? They're just like this.
They're just like this. They're always like you gotta kind of discern what they're trying to figure out.
I see.
Which allergy severity is treated more successfully? Clinic A, clinic B. So they're asking, does A do a better job of treating mild or severe? Okay, I see. Now we can talk about. So they're saying just look at A, and decide which do they do a better job of. So their probability of success, which is what we're looking at here for each, is an A is 78 out of 104. And then for severe, it's 10 out of 35. And what I don't know is whether you can just sit here and say that because that's bigger, that means it's more successful, or if you need to actually do a 2-sample proportion test.
Right.
And your calculator will do that. So that's under stat test to samp prop.
Oh, it's prop
For proportion. So I think you've got like an X1, N1, X2, N2.
Oh yeah, there we go.
And you want to show that it's greater than 0.
Right. Whoops. More.
What are you running into problems? Do you have a p-value?
Yeah, I do have a p-value. I got what was it? 0.285
times, and there's no, because these are very different. It should be like fairly significant. Let me do it on mine here.
5.28
proportion to sample summary. Yeah, so like 78 out of 104.
Gosh darn it, Marty. Man, be cool.
And 10 out of 35. So I get a p-value of basically 0.
Basically 0. Oh shit.
Yeah. You want me to run through that on the calculator?
Yeah, I think I might have picked the wrong one. Which one did you pick again?
Yeah, let me share that and we'll look at it together. All right, so you go to stat test,
right?
2 prop z test. Sorry, 2 prop z test.
Oh, 2 prop z test. Okay.
2 props. Yeah. So your X1 is 78.
68, and then N1's 104, X2 is 10, and then N2 is 35. I think I might have put in the P1 wrong.
You want to go to greater than P2 because you're assuming, okay. Because you kind of believe that the first one is better than the second. And so you can calculate that and you can see your p-value is e to the -7. That's basically 0.
Okay. Oh, the minus.
Okay. So that's the justify your answer. I don't really remember how this thing is graded. Like if you need to say that you're using the test, just give the p-value. That's where your teacher's going to be a little more useful. Most of these teachers grade the APs, so they're real versed in that.
Right. Yeah, no, very first in that.
Right. Clinic B, we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to go back to that other screen. Same thing. You want to basically compare 11 over 12 for the mild. So basically, A does a lot better on the mild. I don't know why this is surprising, but mild is better in A. It's usually you just treat mild allergies anyway. Over
Right.
the 24 over 30 over 56. So do the same thing there. Make another 2-prob Z test.
Let me see. Okay. Clear that. 56. Then greater than P2. Mm, 0.987. 0.987. Or is it the Z?
The P is the second numerical value down. This one is probably also very close to 0.
Yeah. I don't know why it's giving me really just 0.97, like 0.9 numbers.
All right, let's take a look at this again. Test 2-prob Z test. Boom. We got 11 over 12. You got to double check that you actually have all the numbers in there. 24 over 56. Again, we think it's greater than, so we'll do that. Make sure you got that in there. I'm going to go ahead and snip this in case you want to look at this later on in the notes.
Gotcha.
And then we'll hit enter here, see what the magic says.
There we go. Okay, I got it.
Yeah, and you can see it's 0.001. That's pretty low. Basically, you can reject this and conclude that Clinic B is better at treating mild allergies.
Okay.
But it's also very hard to be much better at severe allergies because you're just allergic to everything. I mean, that's
right.
I know someone that tried allergy drops, and they had been struggling for years, and they finally were able to beat their allergies.
Really? Huh.
Yes.
Crazy. Allergy drops. I might need to give me some of those.
Yeah, they go under the tongue 3 times a day. It's pretty amazing.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think my mom got me those. I'm not sure if I used them yet.
Might be time. We'll see.
Yeah, I think
right.
so. Time of year.
Why is this different than the
Let's see, for each clinic, which
oh.
So
we did. I'm sorry. We just did this. This is what we just did for that one.
So those are the answers for that.
Yeah. Which allergies? No. Wait. Which allergy severity is treated more
successfully, and then which is more likely to be treated?
Oh, okay, that's different. I'm sorry. Which allergy severity is more likely to be treated? Okay, so that's looking at the counts. So, like at Clinic A, there's more people that come in with mild versus severe.
Right.
But in Clinic B, more people come in with severe compared to mild.
Yeah.
And so there's no test here, but Clinic A, you can say that there are 104 people that come in for mild versus 35 for severe. And for Clinic B, there are 12 for mild versus 56 severe. So the idea here is that if you wanted to do these for proportions again, you would be comparing like total patients served. Like it's like 104 out of the total number of patients versus 35 out of the total number of patients. but you don't typically do your testing like that. So I think this is just a straight comparison. Like you wouldn't say 104 out of 139 versus 35 out of 139 because they're the same.
Okay. Right. Yeah, they are this.
Out of the same group. So how else might you do this? So there is a 1 proportion z-test. That's probably what you need here. You're probably doing a one prop z-test. And so you're testing whether that 104 out of 139 is greater than 0.5. Like, are you, because 0.5 is that point of split.
Yeah.
And then for the other one is 56 out of 68 greater than 0.5. So you're going back to your calculator, and have you done a 1 prop z-test in a while?
I don't know. Yeah, it's been a second, but
okay.
So just the.
So here you go. You'll see it here. Let me snip it in. When you go to 1 prop z-test, you have to, and we'll just do it for the first one. Your P naught is 0.5. Your X is 104 out of 139, and you're interested again if it's greater than.
I'm sorry. So the P naught is 0.05. Is that like the
0.5?
Oh, 0.5. I'm sorry.
0.5. Because it's like, is it more than a coin toss? You know, do you have bias one way or the other?
Okay. And then the X would be 104?
Yes, because there was 104 people that had mild, came in for mild.
And then 35
out of the total number of people at the clinic.
And that would be 139.
Yes.
Okay. And then it would be greater than.
Yeah, we're hoping that. So your p-value, my guess is going to be pretty small again.
Yeah. Let's see. Shoot, that's not right. Hold on. For the p-value, got 2.43
times 10 to what?
Oh yeah, from the e minus 9. Yeah.
So that's 0. And then you can do the same thing for the other one. Although for the other one, it's the severe. In the case you're trying to prove that the severe is greater than 0.5. So it's the 56.
Right.
50. It's still 0.5, but it's 56 out of 68.
Another very small p-value.
Yeah, so you can for sure reject there. All right, so I think the questions you've got to go take away from today is and ask your instructor is, do you need to specify the